Deep in the shadows, I know it's hard to put one foot in front of the other.
Hi Cancer, how are you? Today I'm going to be reading for the month of November 2020, Sun, Moon, or Rising, whichever resonates with you. I'll begin by pulling an ultimate base clarifying card from the Wild Unknown. And some people, they resonate with their moons more. Some people resonate with their suns, some with their rising, and it's really interesting. So I'll go ahead and pull this while I am talking to you. But it's really interesting how those energies can play out. So check it out sometime on how those energies play for you. The moon represents emotions, and your sun represents the basic way that you handle things in life, and your rising sign is going to represent the intellect and the higher purpose and how things look in an objective way. So a lot of times I find I resonate with my moon sign, though ultimately I do resonate with my sun, which is a Pisces, water sign, but my moon in Aries. It's interesting because I do find that a lot of that passionate energy underneath I resonate with. My rising, not so much, but if I think about it intellectually, I do. Like, oh, that's pretty objective. So I'm gonna go ahead and get you out here. We have the bear. So this is about contemplation and coming out of contemplation, okay? Coming awake. I'm actually gonna pull one more for you, but that is your overall theme. And we have this dragonfly. Oh my God, you know what's a trip? This is a serious trip, okay? So we have the dragonfly right here. Well, first of all, I'm gonna say that the dragonfly is about transformation, okay? So the bear is totally waking up and you are transforming. You've undergone some stuff recently where maybe some sort of trust issues, something has gone on where you have really had to reanalyze some things about your situation and maybe how you've been viewing something or how you've been being treated. So you had to go into this contemplation mode right here. And now you're coming out and you're like, I'm free. So a little bit of hibernation there where you had to think through this dream state of what you're going to do, but you want to know what's a trip. What I was going to say is that, oh my gosh, the dragonfly. And it's funny because before I was doing this reading, I was thinking, what if the dragonfly came out in this next reading? So yeah. But it definitely represents transformation, and the bear represents waking up from hibernation. It also represents creativity. I personally love the bear because I'm such a bear person. I feel like I could just be within, and Cancers are bear people too. One of my parents is a Cancer, and so I know this energy very well, and I've grown up around this sign a lot, so I know this sort of, introspective, sort of introvert, yet strong. You're a cardinal sign, which means you are actually a leader of all of the water signs. You're actually a leader, the one that is able to really get things done in a very straightforward, direct, leadership type of style. Okay, so your base card for November 2020. What is this overall energy that's happening? So we got two that pulled out. We got the Fool and Strength. Okay, I'm gonna actually take it like that. That's how I feel like it should have came out. So we have the Strength card and Fool. You're learning to trust again. You are waking up to the flowers. Look at that. You are totally waking up to the flowers, and you are sitting in the garden and you're like, you know what? I got this under control. Like, I got it. I climbed that mountain in the back and I am chilling. I'm chilling for a little bit. I'm gonna smell the roses. I mean, you're in the garden in both of these cards. I mean, and you know, that's where dragonflies like to go. They like to transform. Spring represents transformation. It does feel like there's a bit of contemplation still going on a little bit, especially with this black cat just sort of sitting there. But with this full energy, it looks like you're getting to know yourself again too, this new level of yourself. So let's see what you need to focus on this month and what your beneath energy is. Okay, so we got the Eight of Sky, which is the Eight of Swords. It's the card with the girl who has a blindfold on her face. And all she has to do is take it off, right? So all you got to do is climb out of the trap right there. Okay, it's a trap. But that's what you've been focusing on. That's what you are focusing on still. You're learning how to manage your emotions with this thing that happened. And you are, you know, Cancer, you've really had to face some things within yourself that maybe you haven't been wanting to face with your emotions. So let's go with your recent or somewhat long past. It varies, but let's see what this card is that's coming out. Okay, so we have Ten of Earth, which is the Ten of Pentacles. So the past. Okay, this could be more distant, depending on the rest of the reading. We'll see. But this is about your thoughts and feelings on stability, okay? And your thoughts and feelings on stability have maybe not been the way that you've been wanting. Maybe there's been some financial uproar or some sort of stability with a partner or whatever other Oh, there you go. There's a tongue twister. Whatever other situation you've been going through. Health, maybe, you know, whatever it is, okay, for your situation. There is this situation of stability with, you know, I just want to say, like, you poor thing, like, you know, that wasn't right. Like, you shouldn't have had to have gone through that. My fellow water sign, you shouldn't have gone through that. There's something, you know, that happened that there's some sort of, you know, some concern with stability, okay? So maybe things were good, but something, you know, changed within that. So let's see what's in your recent, or what's in your present. Okay, so we have Judgment. So we have you making a judgment about something. You have learned something on this journey that you were forced to. You have awakened and you are figuring out how you want to go forward. But you've already done a lot of that work as it is. So let's see what happens in the near future with Cancer. Okay, we have the Earth King, which is the King of Pentacles. So it looks like with this sense of making a judgment and this transformation, you come into the near future being pretty grounded in your resolve to want to be happy about it. So let's see what happens when we look at how you perceive yourself in this situation. Okay, we have a few cards that popped out. We're just going to go with it. We have the Emperor. We have the Sky Queen, which is the Queen of Swords. And we have the Four of Fire, which is the House card. So you see yourself as offering a lot, but you also see yourself having learned some things as being very smart, very good at making good decisions, and just you know, there's this sense of stability. Okay? So let's see what happens when we look at your environmental situation. Okay. So when we look at your environment and your house, we have the Six of Fire, which is the Six of Wands card in the Rider-Waite rendition. And this is pretty good because it represents that you see how things could be very positive and like really there has been this optimism coming over you lately. Okay, you're coming out of the hibernation, Cancer, and you're realizing like, hey, I could have things the way I want. Like I could create my lifestyle. You know, and it also could be that people are viewing you, like in this viewing position. It could be that people are viewing you as being a provider. Cancers usually are. And so there's that sense. And then we have in your fears, hopes and fears. Hopes and fears for, okay. So your hopes and fears is the Tower. All right, dears, you really, there is a fear underneath that things are going to go back to the way that they were before. Like you don't, or that things might mess up. You don't want that happening, right? I'm going to just advise you that you're coming into a place of transformation and awakening, and you really want to make sure that you don't throw away the growth and the effort that you've put in with your growth and your judgment of the situation. It could be easy to put somebody else first before yourself, because in general you are a pretty selfless sign and help others. However, just, you know, be aware of those out there who might, you know, be maybe not have your best interest in hand. You're smart and you want love or finances, and you have this fear right here that, you know, things are not going to go the right way. But really, I would say that you have grown a lot, and there's almost like a fragile energy going on here. Like it's a very fragile energy, and I would really say that you need to work on your breathing this month. That's what my main thing would be to give you, is to work on your breathing, because that's going to really help ground you. And it doesn't even have to be like, oh, like something like weird, like, you know, and that's cool too. If you could get into some TM, good for you. So if you could do some breathing exercises, fine. But it even means just becoming aware of your breath, maybe even just for a minute a day. Just regrounding yourself to the grounding person that you are, you know, really like, don't leave the bear behind. Don't leave the bear energy. The bear is there to be your ground and to be your guide and to be your comfort and to be your love. You know, and I would also consider, I know it's a little sensitive, everybody has different spiritual beliefs. I'm gonna say spiritual dash and or, you know, well-being. Like keep honoring that sense of like well-being, you know, or maybe it's your passion. Like what is inside of you that really needs to like breathe. So let's go ahead and pull an outcome card for this month. Okay. So we have the Four of Earth, which is the Four of Pentacles. It's a gateway card, which means that in the regular rendition, the character, he's holding the... Sorry about that, Cancer. Oh my gosh. I got totally interrupted with your reading. So, yeah, I was getting an unexpected phone call. So with that outcome position of the Four of Earth and the Four of Pentacles right there, we have you like really holding on tight to something, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. Okay, you're trying to protect yourself from what you've been in, and you're trying to protect yourself from the fear of the Tower, the fear of that happening again. So you're like, you know what? You're coming back again. Like, is this legit this time? So let's go ahead and clarify that outcome position. It honestly, it looks like, oh my God, you got another gateway card, the Two of Sky, which is the Two of Swords with the blindfold and the two swords. And, you know, it's crazy because there's a real choice to make here. So in your future position and your outcome position, you have Pentacles energy. Like, you have stability going on within yourself and for yourself, right? But then there's this energy that's sort of creeping back up where, you know, or this energy that you have to face where you have to make some sort of decision. This is really crazy because you're still going through it, but you've grown for sure. And so I want to leave it okay. I just pulled these out because I was going to clarify it again. And the final message for you, Cancer, is to surrender whatever decision you need to make, right? And you're going to keep focusing on yourself. And just remember not to depend on others to give you your sense of happiness that you need. You need to follow your intuition, okay? Really hone in. And that's why I said to breathe, is because you really need to hone in on that emotional state that you've been going through, that transformation, so you could figure out what it is that you want. And with this sort of like Queen of Cups wellness energy, that's really like a card that means you're nurturing yourself, okay? And this intuitive High Priestess card right here is also saying that you are nurturing yourself. So a final decision might not be made this month. Someone or something might be trying to come back up, or you might be looking into some things, but you're not sure because of what has happened in the past. But you do have stability. You see yourself positively, but there's still some insecurities. And it's okay that you're holding on. It almost feels like you need to breathe, and so you could let go and work on contracting that muscle down there. That'll help you in allowing yourself to receive what it is that you do want to receive. Okay, so you have learned. Alright, Cancer, that's been your November 2020 reading. If you have enjoyed this, please do not be afraid to like, share, and subscribe, particularly subscribing, especially since I'm new here. It would help me grow my channel and help give you content that you're interested in when you look on YouTube. All right, bye. Cheers.